The night carried a quiet sense of anticipation as the Duke Blue Devils stepped onto the hardwood to face the determined and resilient Siena Saints in what would become a gripping contest defined by discipline, momentum swings, and late-game composure. Though the final scoreline would read 71-65 in favor of Duke, the numbers alone could not fully capture the tension, grit, and emotional rhythm that unfolded over 40 minutes of high-stakes college basketball. This was not merely a routine victory for a storied program. It was a test of resolve against an underdog opponent that refused to yield, a reminder that in the landscape of NCAA Division I men's basketball, no game is ever truly predictable. From the opening tip, Duke sought to assert its identity. Structured offense, disciplined defense, and the kind of poise expected from a program synonymous with excellence. The Blue Devils moved the ball crisply in the early possessions, probing Siena's defensive schemes with calculated patience. Their guards dictated tempo, alternating between quick perimeter rotations and controlled drives into the paint. Siena, however, was far from intimidated. The Saints responded with physical defense and an aggressive mindset, closing passing lanes and contesting every shot with urgency. It quickly became evident that this would not be a one-sided affair. Siena had arrived prepared to challenge, not merely participate. The first half unfolded as a chess match. Duke's offensive sets generated quality looks, but Siena's defensive rotations were sharp, forcing contested attempts and limiting easy baskets. Meanwhile, the Saints capitalized on transition opportunities, converting defensive stops into fast break points that energized their bench and supporters. The rhythm of the game began to tilt into a back-and-forth exchange, with neither side able to establish a commanding lead. Each possession carried weight, each basket answered swiftly by the other, as the scoreboard reflected the competitive balance between the teams. Duke's interior presence provided a slight edge during this stretch. Their ability to control the glass on both ends allowed them to create second-chance opportunities, subtly shifting momentum in their favor. Offensive rebounds led to crucial putbacks, while defensive boards prevented Siena from building sustained scoring runs. Yet the Saints refused to be outworked. Their hustle plays, diving for loose balls, contesting rebounds, and forcing turnovers, kept them within striking distance and disrupted Duke's attempts to gain separation. As the first half progressed, the tension inside the arena grew palpable. Every defensive stop by Siena was met with visible intensity, while Duke's responses carried a sense of urgency. The Saints' perimeter shooting began to find its rhythm, with timely three-pointers cutting into Duke's narrow lead. These shots were not merely points on the board. They were statements of intent, reminders that Siena was fully capable of turning the tide. Duke, recognizing the threat, tightened its defensive coverage on the perimeter, forcing Siena into tougher looks and contested attempts. By halftime, the game remained finely balanced, with Duke holding a slim advantage that offered little comfort. The scoreline reflected the nature of the contest: hard-fought, evenly matched, and far from decided. Both teams retreated to their locker rooms aware that the second half would demand even greater focus, execution, and resilience. For Duke, the challenge was to maintain composure and gradually assert control. For Siena, the mission was clear: sustain their intensity and capitalize on every opportunity to push for an upset. The second half began with renewed energy from both sides. Duke attempted to increase the tempo, seeking to exploit their athleticism and depth. Quick transitions and early shot clock offense became more prominent, as they aimed to stretch Siena's defense and create mismatches. Siena, however, adjusted effectively, slowing the pace when necessary and forcing Duke into half-court sets where their defensive discipline could shine. The Saints' ability to adapt kept the game within a narrow margin, preventing Duke from establishing a decisive run. Midway through the second half, Duke appeared to gain a slight upper hand. A sequence of well-executed plays, highlighted by sharp ball movement and efficient finishing, extended their lead to multiple possessions. For a brief moment, it seemed as though the Blue Devils might finally pull away. Yet Siena responded with remarkable composure. Rather than allowing the deficit to grow, the Saints tightened their defense and executed with precision on offense, chipping away at the lead with calculated patience. The defining stretch of the game came in the final minutes, where every possession carried immense significance. Siena's relentless effort culminated in a late push that brought them within striking distance, setting the stage for a dramatic finish. The Saints' defense forced turnovers, while their offense delivered timely baskets that reignited hopes of an upset. The energy on the court was electric, with players on both sides fully aware that the outcome hung in the balance. Duke, however, demonstrated the composure that has long defined the program. In the face of mounting pressure, they executed with discipline, valuing each possession and minimizing mistakes. Their ability to control the tempo in these critical moments proved decisive. Free throws, often overlooked in the broader narrative of a game, became crucial in maintaining their lead. Duke converted from the line with consistency, preventing Siena from closing the gap entirely. Defensively, Duke made the necessary adjustments to contain Siena's late surge. They tightened their rotations, contested shots with intensity, and secured key rebounds that denied the Saints second-chance opportunities. These defensive efforts, combined with their offensive execution, allowed Duke to withstand the pressure and maintain their narrow advantage as the clock ticked down. As the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard confirmed a 71-65 victory for Duke, a result that reflected both their resilience and Siena's unwavering determination. For the Blue Devils, it was a hard-fought win that underscored the importance of composure, execution, and adaptability. For the Saints, it was a performance that, despite ending in defeat, showcased their capability to compete at a high level and challenge one of college basketball's most storied programs. In the aftermath of the game, the narrative extended beyond the final score. This contest served as a testament to the competitive nature of college basketball, where preparation, effort, and belief can bridge perceived gaps between teams. Siena's performance was a reminder that underdogs can rise to the occasion, pushing favored opponents to their limits and creating moments of genuine drama. For Duke, the victory carried valuable lessons. While the result added another win to their record, the manner in which it was achieved highlighted areas for growth. The Blue Devils were forced to confront adversity, adapt to an opponent's strategy, and execute under pressure. Experiences that will prove invaluable as the season progresses. Such games, though challenging, often serve as catalysts for development, sharpening a team's focus and resilience.